The command deck of the Earthbound Valor hummed with tension as David Chen stood before the holographic display, his jaw tight with concern. 3 days ago, he'd been a simple combat medic assigned to the human expeditionary force exploring the Kepler Nebula. Now, he found himself at the center of an interstellar incident that could reshape humanity's place among the stars. "She's asking for you again," Commander Reynolds said, her weathered face showing equal parts amusement and concern. "The Azurian Queen won't negotiate with anyone else." David exhaled slowly, running a hand through his short black hair. "I saved her life, that's all. I was doing my job." "To her people it's more than that," the commander replied. "Much more." The battle had been chaos incarnate. The human fleet, responding to a distress call, had arrived to find the Azurian royal convoy under siege by the Kresh, a parasitic species that harvested neural tissue from living hosts. The humans had no treaty with the Azurians, no formal alliance, but David had learned long ago that morality didn't require paperwork. When the Azurian flagship exploded, sending escape pods scattering like seeds in a storm, David had been piloting a rescue shuttle. He'd watched most pods get recovered by Azurian vessels, but one, just one, had been caught in the debris field, its trajectory sending it spiraling toward a Kresh harvester ship. He'd acted on instinct. The rescue had been textbook except for one detail. The pod contained Queen Anna Velthara herself, ruler of the Azurian Empire, a civilization that spanned 40 systems and commanded fleets that made Earth's navy look like a coast guard. David had pulled her from the wreckage with her left wing mangled and her azure skin marked with burns. Her species was humanoid enough, bipedal, bilateral symmetry, similar organ placement, that his medical training translated well. He'd stabilized her collapsed lung, sealed the worst of her wounds, and kept her alive until the Azurian rescue arrived. She'd looked at him with eyes like molten gold and spoken one phrase in heavily accented English. "I owe you the breath of life." Now, 72 hours later, the human fleet hung in neutral space alongside the assembled might of the Azurian armada. Diplomatic channels buzzed with activity, and Queen Anna had sent the same message for the 3rd consecutive day. "She wants to honor the debt," Commander Reynolds continued. "In her culture, saving a life, especially royal life, creates an obligation that must be fulfilled." "I don't want payment," David protested. "Tell her we're even. Tell her humanity is honored to have helped. Whatever diplomatic phrase makes this go away." The commander's expression turned serious. "David, you need to understand what she's asking. The Azurians don't think like us. Their concept of debt is profound. Refusing her offer could be interpreted as an insult, a grave one." "What exactly is she offering?" Reynolds pulled up a translated document. "According to their customs, you're entitled to request anything within her power to grant. Land, titles, wealth, technology, military support." "I don't want any of that." "She knows, that's why she's made her own proposal." The commander paused. "In Azurian culture, the highest honor a queen can bestow upon her savior is to invite them to join her household, as a consort." David felt the blood drain from his face. "You're joking." "I'm very much not. Their ambassador explained it quite clearly. She's asking you to share her bed tonight as the first step in a formal bonding ceremony. It's how they seal debts of this magnitude." That's insane. We're different species." "Compatible enough, apparently. Their xenobiologists confirmed it." Reynolds softened her tone. "Look, I understand this is overwhelming, but we need you to at least meet with her, talk to her. The diplomatic implications of refusing outright could damage human-Azurian relations for generations." The shuttle ride to the Azurian flagship Sovereign Sky gave David too much time to think. He joined the expeditionary force to explore, to help people, to see wonders beyond Earth's atmosphere. He'd never imagined becoming entangled in alien royalty and their incomprehensible customs. The Azurian ship was breathtaking, all flowing curves and bioluminescent panels, more grown than built. Guards with ceremonial energy pikes escorted him through corridors that seemed to pulse with gentle light. Everything smelled of ozone and something sweet, like honeysuckle. They brought him to a chamber that could only be the queen's private quarters. The ceiling arched high overhead, painted with constellations David didn't recognize. Flowing fabrics in shades of deep purple and silver draped the walls. At the room's center, reclining on a platform covered in what looked like living moss, was Anna. She was even more striking than he remembered. Her azure skin seemed to glow softly in the dim light. The burns had healed, leaving only faint silver traces. Her wings, elegant membrane structures that emerged from her shoulder blades, had been repaired and now folded gracefully against her back. She wore robes of shimmering white that left one shoulder bare, and her golden eyes fixed on him with an intensity that made his breath catch. "David Chen," she said, rising fluidly. Her English had improved. "You came." "Your Majesty," he managed, attempting what he hoped was an appropriate bow. "Anna," she corrected gently. "Here in this place I am simply Anna, and you are the man who gave me life. I was just doing my job." She moved closer, her movements liquid grace. "Your people have a curious habit of diminishing their own heroism. You flew through debris that would have shredded your vessel. You exposed yourself to enemy fire. You repaired my body with hands that had never touched Azurian flesh. These are not just anything. Anyone would have done the same. But they didn't. You did." She was close enough now that he could see the subtle patterns in her skin, like watermarks in fine paper. "Do you understand why I've asked you here?" "Your ambassador explained about the debt. Look, I appreciate the gesture, but you don't owe me anything. Certainly not this." Anna tilted her head, studying him. "You misunderstand. This is not payment. This is honor. In my culture, when someone preserves the breath of life, they become sacred to the one saved. A bond is formed that transcends normal relationships. But we barely know each other. Yet you knew enough to save me. You knew enough to be gentle when I was broken. You knew enough to whisper reassurances in a language you thought I couldn't understand." Her golden eyes held his. "I was conscious, David. I heard you. Stay with me," you said. "You're going to be fine. I've got you." You spoke to a dying alien with the tenderness you might show a beloved friend. David felt heat rise to his face. "That's just bedside manner." "Perhaps, but it revealed your character." She reached out slowly, giving him time to retreat. When he didn't, she placed a hand on his chest over his heart. Her palm was warm, and he could feel her pulse through her fingertips, faster than human normal. "I am not asking you to love me, David Chen. I am asking you to let me honor you, to acknowledge the bond between us. Among my people, this is how we mark those who have become precious to us. I don't know your customs. I don't know how to be what you're asking." "Then learn with me." Her voice softened. "I have ruled for 30 cycles. I have commanded fleets and decided the fates of worlds. But I have never felt what I felt when I woke in your arms, safe despite the danger, cherished despite being a stranger. You gave me more than breath, David. You gave me hope that the universe still holds kindness." David struggled with the maelstrom of emotions. This was beyond his training, beyond his experience. "What if I say no?" "Then you say no, and I will honor that choice. But I will spend the rest of my life wondering what might have been." She stepped back, giving him space. "I am not demanding. I am asking. Stay with me tonight. Let me show you what this bond means to my people. And in the morning, if you wish to return to your ship, I will let you go with gratitude and no resentment." He looked at her, truly looked. Beneath the royal bearing, beneath the alien features, he saw something achingly familiar: loneliness, hope, vulnerability. "Just tonight?" he asked. "To begin with. If there is more, it will be because we both choose it." David took a deep breath. Sometimes, he realized, courage wasn't about flying into danger. Sometimes it was about accepting something beautiful and terrifying and completely unknown. "All right," he said quietly, "show me." Anna's face transformed with a smile that could have lit the nebula itself. She took his hand, her fingers intertwining with his, and led him deeper into the chamber. In the morning, the human fleet would find David's shuttle still docked at the Sovereign Sky. Commander Reynolds would smile knowingly and file a report about ongoing diplomatic negotiations. And in the quiet of the royal chamber, as two souls from different worlds learned each other's languages, both verbal and otherwise, humanity and the Azurian Empire forged a bond that would reshape the galaxy. All because one human medic had done what humans do best, seen someone in need and refused to look away. The end.